Yo, Horror556 aka Blavik, and we are back with some Forza Motorsport at the iconic Spa-Francorchamps. No, this is not a coincidence because F1 was there literally just recently. We are going to be going to racing GT2s around, well, Spa. Now, we're the lone Aston Martin in a field full of other GT2s such as Porsches, Chevrolets, all of that. But I mean, just listen to this sound. Just listen to the sound. So for full, what's it called, transparency with the car, this is the 2018 Aston Martin AMR Vantage GTE, the number 97. This was added a while back ago. This was like when I didn't have the game. I recently got the game like a year ago, I believe. But this is an unlockable car. I unlocked it at least. I don't know if it's buyable. I haven't seen it when you can buy cars, but this is an unlockable car from my knowledge. Straight line speed is not as fast, but the cornering's there, and I believe that's there with most Aston Martins as well, is that they have really good cornering, as we have some nice bumper to bumper action with the Corvette in front of us right now as we go down, what's it called? Not Hunan. I forget. But yeah. This was a really fun car to drive. I've been trying to max level it for maybe a couple weeks now. Nor have I tuned it technically. This is all stock, and from I think what most of you believe, I'm using controller, and that's because I don't know. To my eyes, this isn't much of a sim-ish game. It's more of an arcade. You can argue with me in the comments on that, but yeah, I have a wheel. I have a sim racing wheel, but I don't use it much on Forza Motorsport because I guess I'm lazy and it's just too much to try and learn, but we're getting there. I'm trying to learn as best as I can. As most of you know, as a track like Spa, it's pretty high speed with I believe it's more high speed. Stumbling over words again. But as I was saying, it is more what's the word? More high speed than cornering. So maybe the Aston Martin wasn't the best choice, but I couldn't not take the advantage of being the only Aston Martin in a grid full of, as you can see, oh my god, that Porsche just really tried it there. But yeah, in a field full of, you know, Porsches, Corvettes, not Bentleys are GT3s, not McLarens either. What else is in this field? I forgot what else was in this field. But in a field that's mainly dominant by those kinds of GTEs or GT2s, as you would say in this game, the Aston Martin, I think, is a nice little lone wolf car to drive. Unfortunately, though, we're in 12th, so really not much we could go off of right now. Gonna go around the outside, but instead we're gonna get forced off the track, and we're just gonna go from 12th, as I mentioned before, down to 15th. So a little bit frustrating, but at the end of the day, that's just racing. A little even more frustrating, the fact that there was no penalty there, but maybe it's just I was being too ambitious, and that's not really his fault. It's all right though. It happens. We're trying to race as cleanly as possible, and I believe we're doing so for the most part. Here though, the Verstappen.com Ferrari in front of us. We're going to brake because we don't go side by side into your rows, but the Ferrari is going to get loose and yeet itself off the track. So, free position there. That poor Ferrari, though, is out of the race. Or if he hasn't rage quit already, is going to rage quit. So, I mean, free position for us, we kind of gained, so can't really feel too bad. But that's just racing at the end of the day. We have our good and our bad. Now, we catch up to the Corvette in front, and we are going to be gaining some places here as the pit the pit window, is open for cars for cars like me who are on the mediums. But I've been, I believe, taking care of my mediums a little better. So we have at least one more lap to go through as the Corvette goes wide. So we take advantage and pass him on his inside for 7th. We are currently 7th. Now we're 7th because we're one of the later stops, but that's okay. But as I said and mentioned before, the Aston Martin does not have great straight line speed. So we are kind of at a disadvantage when it comes to the Corvette, but thankfully the cornering, we're going to defend a little bit, try and place our car in a defensive position. We take what's that corner? Take that corner a little too greedy, and we get a 0.2 second penalty, which is pretty lenient compared to the rest of the field, who has taken literal 2-3 second penalties from collisions and going off track, etc. I mean, those are the only 2 penalties you could get in this game, but you get the picture. After some defending for a couple laps, we ultimately had to come into pit as the tires were wearing out. Kind of hit the wall going into the pit lane entry there. It was a little tight, but it's all good. So we're going to be doing the softs since there's only 2 more laps left. 2 more laps left. I always confuse that. And no fuel because we're 2 laps extra. Good stop from the AI pit crew. And we're going to be entering back to where we were before at the start. So at least like around 14th or 15th. Oh no, never mind, we're top 10. That's even better, as we're gonna go not side by side, but we're gonna be lined up in between the Porsche and the Corvette. We get a bump from the Corvette behind us, a little bit of a boost so that we could go side by side down the long straight. But instead, Porsche has other ideas. He's just gonna force us off track. That's in your average Forza Motorsport lobby, I guess, but we have other ideas. We're gonna take the escape road. And just like that, we're ahead, and even better, no penalty. I don't know how we didn't get a penalty for that, because usually you get a 0.8 second or a 1 second penalty for an illegal pass off track. So maybe it's because we were forced off and the game or the racing gods are just like, yeah, you can have this position, fuck it. I don't know, but I'm thankful because we're top 10 again. Now, final lap, we stayed 10th. We didn't really have much defending to do. We were pretty clean throughout this entire race, which, if you're new to this channel, it's not really the average due to the fact that I've been in such lower rated lobbies. But we come home across the line, even with 0.2 seconds, finished 10th, which for this Aston Martin I believe is not bad. I mean, it's points, right? So you really can't complain about that. Overall though, solid, clean race. Probably the cleanest I've raced here in Forza Motorsport, or cleanest race I've raced. And I mean, look at that beautiful Aston Martin. Anyways though, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that shit. Shout out Horror Squad, that's my gang, and we out, bruh.
What the fuck? I could not be a bro nigga, I'd rather die. I've been in the trash since when I was behind. You ain't talking money, you wasting my time. You got guns the same hot as AI. Neighbors complain they don't like the smell. Nigga running the trap, we gon' set in the house. Got so drunk at the show, I got up and I fell. Some money change hands, there ain't no going back. Nigga step in my trap and look like I rap. I always do one dance, stuff crack a rap. My pockets on BBL, booty they fat. It's a call from the plug, now I won't call back. Got a word from the plug, Joe won't call back.